Hi everyone, James Fedesov from Speed River Bicycle in Guelph, Ontario here. Today I'm going to show you how to remove and reinstall bicycle wheels. In this first example, I'm going to be demonstrating on this Trek Domani road bike. It features a linear pull road brake and a quick release. So the first thing that we're going to do when we want to take this wheel off is open up the brake. There's a little lever right there that you'll open, and it allows the brake to open and for the tire to come through. The second thing that you'll do is open up the quick release here. Take your second hand and push down on the knuckle of the rear derailleur. Move the chain out of the way of the cassette, and your rear wheel is out of your bicycle. Once you're ready to reinstall the wheel back onto the bike, an easy trick to remember what cassette cog you're going to place the chain on is to shift the rear derailleur down into the hardest gear, or what would be the smallest cog. We then know that when we create some slack in the chain, we're going to be putting the chain on that smallest cog and pushing the wheel back up into the dropouts. You want to apply pressure from the bottom of the wheel to be sure that the wheel is square in the dropouts, or you can put the bike on the ground to do this for you. You'll then tighten the quick release enough that when you close the quick release, it lightly dents your palm. The last step is to just close that rear brake again and give the wheel a spin to make sure that there's no brake rubbing, and turn the cranks a couple times just to be sure that your shifting is working fine. In this next example, I'm going to be showing you how to remove the front wheel on this Trek Verve hybrid. It features what we would call a V-brake or a standard rim brake. The tricky part here is opening the brake enough to allow the tire to clear through the brake pads. So what we're going to do to begin is take one hand and push together the arms of that V-brake, and then pull what's called the noodle, little metal part there, out from its clasp. The brakes will then fall open, and that's okay. Next, we're going to go down to the quick release here and open it. You'll hold the one side and unthread the other, and that's going to give us enough clearance for the front wheel to drop right back out of the frame. After you've finished your repair, be it a flat or an adjustment on this wheel, to reinstall, we're going to reverse this process. So what we're going to do is start by putting the wheel and the axle back into the dropouts, hold the one side of the quick release with your thumb, and spin the other until it's tight. This does have an open position and a closed position, so we want it to be tight enough that when you put it in the closed position, the wheel is not going to fall out of the dropout. So push that in. It should lightly dent your palm. And the tricky part now is getting this brake back together. So push the brake arms back together, and with one hand, hold them together like that. With your second hand, we want to get that metal noodle back into its spot right there. Give the brake a squeeze just to make sure it's working properly, and give the wheel a spin to make sure nothing is rubbing. And just like that, you have removed and reinstalled your front wheel. In this last example, I'm going to be demonstrating on a Trek FX disc. So it's important to note that this bike features a disc brake rather than a rim brake, and what's called a through axle instead of a quick release. What we're going to do is open up the through axle and unthread it from the frame, pull it all the way out, and then drop the wheel out. When you're done performing the repair or flat fix or whatever it may be on this wheel, and you're ready to reinstall it, you just need to pay attention that the disc rotor goes in between the brake pads. So push that up into there, and then reinstall your through axle. Spin it until it's almost fully tight, and then finish it off by closing the through axle lever. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can send them to me, james@speedriverbicycle.com. If you'd like to find us on social media, we're on Instagram and Facebook at Speed River Bicycle and on Twitter at Speed River Bike.